I'm pretty sure that's how Florida. I'm pretty sure that's what Florida does to you.
Florida does bad things to people all the time.
Makes them racist. Makes them eat people.
Eat bath salts, which
Bath
makes
salts.
you eat people.
Yeah.
I think it makes you eat bath salts, but it might make you take bath salts.
There's a picture of a guy who made Florida news who got arrested because he went to this intersection, just sat at a table there and started eating pancakes in the middle of the
intersection.
He was just sitting there eating pancakes.
What the fuck?
What I mean, what was the purpose?
Purpose?
I mean,
I don't know, man.
Pancakes.
But
A good view, apparently. I don't know.
Man. But that guy's fucking badass though.
That's pretty gangster.
This is the dopest dude in Florida for sure.
Hope they were good pancakes.
How much does Taj pay for that?
Pay for what? Pancakes?
Season pass at Disney?
Oh, I don't know. How much is a season
He's
pass
there
over
all
in
the time.
California?
California's kind of expensive.
But aren't as a resident, don't you get a bit of a discount?
Not anymore.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. What was the discount?
I think it was like $350 for the year.
Wow.
And you get it anytime you want.
Yeah. Except for certain
That's worth
blackout days.
Well, it's still
Like they're
worth
busy.
it. Yeah.
But that shit's like what, $90 a pop if you go there by itself.
That's why they sold so many of them.
Oh,
Well, now is it also that is it a park hopper?
You can add a park hopper because they're technically two parks.
Right. But
Florida's just the one though, right?
What?
Florida is just the one, right?
yeah.
One big ass park.
Taj is there all the fucking time.
Well, he goes there, but he doesn't go in the park. He does because Disney World has a bunch of stuff around it.
Yeah.
Because Disneyland has the
Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney. They have like a city in front of Disney, like Disney World
In
So-
Florida?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Because the California one, I know they have that dope, like Main Street.
yeah, that's what
thing.
he's talking
That's
about. Yeah.
Downtown Disney,
That's
but they have
Downtown
something
Disney.
like that at Disney World.
But it's just massive.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like they have hotels in that area. Like Disneyland has hotels around it. Disney World has hotels in that little like city. they have.
Disneyland has one hotel that I know of in that area.
Yeah.
It's that
It's
Grand.
the Disney Grand Hotel.
yeah, the one I stayed at last time we were there. So amazing.
yeah.
That
well,
place was
it themes-
so
yeah.
beautiful.
Those are all the different themes.
When I
and
went to
stuff.
Disney, the Indiana Jones ride and Space Mountain was down.
Oh,
Space Mountain was down. You should have
Yeah.
asked your.
that's
fucking
not
money
worth
back.
it. Exactly.
Leave.
I was mad.
All right, I could.
Every
say
time
Indiana
I
Jones,
go-
not, okay.
No,
If it's down,
no,
I get it. Okay,
no,
whatever.
no,
But Space Mountain,
no,
that's some horse shit.
no.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Indiana
But
Jones
the
ride should
Michael
never be
Jackson movie was playing, so that was
Got
pretty
Neo.
dope.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
dope.
that was pretty good.
That shit's so dated. It's hilarious, but it's awesome.
Oh, it's so bad. Like it's
The theater is terrible too.
Yeah,
Seats are all fucking busted and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were renovating that when I was there last.
Yeah, because they're doing a bunch of different stuff there now.
Yeah,
It's not just the Captain EO theater anymore.
did get to do the new Star Tours. That was pretty
The 3D.
was pretty bomb.
Yeah, it's fucking rad.
Yeah.
Last time I went there, it had just opened.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go there. They didn't have any of the newer Star Wars stuff. It was just the ones that incorporated episodes 1 through 6. But
Yeah,
yeah, I was like, oh, this
So
is
badass.
rad.
so badass.
It's
And I
true.
so can't wait. I still can't wait to have Star Wars Land open up. It'd be so much fun.
Actual
much fun.
full size Millennium Falcon that you can go in and out of.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, that's why we want to go when it opens.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
but it's still not open for like another year or two.
Yeah, opens 2019
God damn,
because it goes along with the release of the Han Solo movie.
that's true.
Hmm.
I'm hoping it's called Honor Among Thieves.
In order to construct it, they have a couple of rides, quote unquote, turned off, like the Huckleberry Finn boat ride.
Yeah.
They're not running it anymore until they get done with Star Wars Land, because
Oh,
they
'cause
had
it,
to
like,
section off
Goes it? Yeah.
part of it in order to get it. Oh,
Hey, Mike.
What?
You got any wrestling talk you wanna do? You wanna do some business first? How do you wanna do this? Hey, how's this? Oh, we'll do this real quick. This comes naturally. If you want to support us, go to Facebook, like and share the Facebook page. You can comment on some shit there. You can head over to Twitter. Our Twitter handle is.
that comes Natural Pod.
Then head on over to iTunes, and you can hit that subscribe button and the like button and the review button and leave some nice words about us.
5-star.
in there. 5-star.
5-star reviews.
Yeah, bitch.
And some
then
nice words.
if you subscribe, like I said, you get it every week on
You
Friday.
don't have to do no work.
No work at all.
You're just like, oh, it's Friday morning. Fuck,
Bam.
man. I'm excited. Weekend's coming. What? A podcast?
Boom!
Oh, my God. And then you listen to that instead of go to work and you start your weekend early. Boom.
Boom.
Monkeys.
And so this is Comes Naturally. We are
Joe?
You sing it. Mike.
I am Cody. Welcome to this week's episode, everybody. We're going to get into some business real quick with Michael and some wrestling. What's
Wrestling. WrestleMania.
up? Oh, my God. What is that?
WrestleMania is an event that happens once a year,
What?
and it is happening Sunday.
Is
This
it like
Sunday.
the Super Bowl?
It's the Super Bowl of wrestling.
So is WrestleMania is like Super Bowl the WrestleMania of football?
Yeah, Super Bowl is the WrestleMania of football.
Gotcha.
But you know what? I wonder what the economic impact is comparatively. I bet it's pretty close to being the same now.
Maybe.
I
for
do
a
know
city?
I've been to a WrestleMania.
Yes,
It
I've been to
was
one as well.
many moons ago. Many.
Mine was not that long ago.
Mine was when I was still in high school.
Wee lad.
So it was
Oh,
about,
Cody.
when I went, it was easily 20 years ago.
20 years?
Yeah.
Which one was it that you went to? Give me one match. Let me see if I can guess.
I know Undertaker was there.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Who do you wrestle?
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't a main one though. I know that he was just there fighting somebody. I have to. I know I have a ticket stub somewhere, for it. But what I was gonna say is your impact money wise. When we went, it was just the event. Like you went to it and that was it.
Yeah.
Now they have
it's
like
a week.
literally it starts the Monday before, and it's all sorts of shit. They have amateur shows. They have meet and greets. They have signings, picture opportunities.
Outside of just the stuff that the WWE is putting on, WrestleMania has become a magnet for all wrestling companies. So, again, even with the WWE, they have the NXT show, which last year the NXT event on the Friday before Mania was better than Mania. So like they bring it for sure. Ring of Honor's doing an event. PWG's doing an event. There's just all the indie promotions show up, and
Anybody who wrestles.
Yes,
shows
basically because it's in Orlando this year. Basically,
dang.
every single even if it's WWE related or not, but every name wrestler is gonna be in Orlando. If they're still active in any way, even in
Like
terms
alive?
of just signings and appearances, they're gonna be in Florida. They're probably already there. But yeah, it's a whole week event now. Because I remember when it was here in Phoenix at Mania 26. It was the one at University of Phoenix Stadium. It was all week. They had the parade was that week. They did that. John Cena was the marshal of the parade. They had all the the charity events, and a whole bunch of the indie wrestlers were in town too. So yeah, I bet it's probably not as much as the Super Bowl, but I bet it's getting close in terms of the profit it's bringing in.
Yeah, because people will travel.
People travel like a motherfucker.
Crazy for it.
Yeah.
I will say this though: the city does not shut down like it does for the Super Bowl.
No, Super Bowl definitely is a more dense.
How much stuff do they have going on around the WrestleMania? Because the Super Bowl, you have, especially when we had it here in Phoenix, you had all those little events where they did all around town.
Yeah,
do they do anything like that?
That's the only difference is Phoenix shut down for the Super Bowl, but it was more of the media coming in
Yeah,
and shutting it down. So NFL Network, ESPN,
Fox.
basically, just NFL Network and ESPN basically took over the Civic Center.
Yeah,
That's all that was in there. One floor and the other floor, just the two. But there's they have the fan there's fan experiences. There's gonna be panel things that take place during Mania week. There'll be appearances, signings, all kinds of shit. It's the only real difference is it doesn't get the media coverage that the Super Bowl does.
Okay.
In terms of fanfare, like, and events, I still think it's pretty close.
Mhm.
But you don't have ESPN and Fox Sports, NFL Network just basically taking up
Gotcha.
I mean, fuck, DirecTV built the Dan Patrick Show, basically its own little like tiny town over there by the stadium.
Mhm.
On the other side of Westgate.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Like just a couple of buildings, or basically a mobile. They called it the mobile man cave. Yeah, where they did all their broadcasts, all their interviews, and they just bust everyone out there for all the interviews and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's got to be big. It's gonna be a lot of appearances, but just less media.
I think it's probably the second largest sporting event
You think so?
in the United
Bigger,
States for sure.
bigger than like the World Series.
Yeah, see, the World
bigger
Series
than-
is spread out, but there's not a whole. There's a little bit that goes along with it but the problem is it moves,
Yeah.
and there's gaps.
Well,
in
the
the
World
days.
Series is locked down to who the competitors are.
Yeah, so there's not a place you can't plan a lot because it's going to be in two places.
Right.
And it may not be in two places. Like it could be in two places twice, because
So you're gonna
There, here,
sell
there,
out the stadium for sure, but you're not gonna.
You're not
have
going
as
to be
much going
doing
around it. Yeah, and even like
fan
the
events around.
like basketball, they don't have that big of a
No,
thing
it's
for it.
it's the two are it's the Super Bowl because a year in advance where the Super Bowl is getting.
2 years in advance, really.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then same thing with Mania. They're really following the Super Bowl's model of they announce it a
Where they're
year
gonna
out,
be
so like
they
we
can get
know where it's
everybody-
at. I can't remember what they said, but we know where Mania is at next year, and then like they'll start selling travel packages for it in like a couple months.
All right.
That kind of thing. But like, yeah, with like the NBA championships, World Series, shit like that, you can't really like, you're not gonna take over a town. It's not that much of an event because it's multiple games and they're crisscrossing across the country to play at the other place.
Right.
Yeah. So to actually talk about Mania itself, can you bring up the card, Cody?
Yes, I was actually
Thank
bringing
you,
up
sir.
WrestleMania 34 to see if I could figure out where it was going to be at.
So, I am not super excited about the card or the build for WrestleMania.
Really? Why?
Main reason is it's being headlined by Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
No, what's so bad about that though?
WrestleMania next year 34 is going to be in New Orleans.
New Orleans. They love New Orleans. They go there every couple of years.
New Orleans.
And the other thing too that WWE has stopped doing stadium like regular size stadiums, and they only want to do the giant ones now.
If they can sell it out though,
They won't always sell it out. Like Phoenix, they didn't sell out, but
I'm
they
sure
did.
they had a lot.
Yeah, it was 80,000 plus.
So
Wow.
many people.
Yeah,
So many people.
What's
Yeah.
the average ticket price for like decent seats for?
Decent seats. I was on ground level for
Mhm.
Mania 26. I think I paid $30 for my ticket,
Damn, that's
but it was back pretty far
it's still.
because you gotta picture the football stadium, picture the ring right on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
And there's
Um,
seats around it too.
So
Just go-
seats, so seats going all the way back to the regular stands. And I was like towards the back of being on ground level.
But still, $30 for something like that.
Yeah.
Being that
experience, yeah.
close
Yeah.
for the experience, exactly.
I think that
is
the
well
cheapest
worth it.
tickets are probably going to be like $15 a pop, like upper level around the
Right.
cheaper areas, things like that. Ringside will get you fucking broke in a hurry, because like closer floor level, where like if you're like on the floor in like a normal stadium, those type of seats where you're only like 20 rows back. I remember those. There was none left, but they had the pricing. I remember the pricing. Those were like $250, $300, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, but the people who are flying in, because there's people who fly in from like Australia and China and shit like that, and like they're just shelling out all kinds of
Oh, I
cash for that
bet.
shit. It's crazy. back to your question. What's wrong with Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg?
Because for me, they're two of the bigger. One is one of the biggest names besides like The Rock to come out of out of wrestling. The other one I know from when I used to watch a little bit of wrestling back in the day at Goldberg's height, where he was undefeated.
And exactly that is the reason why they're headlining it. Mm-hmm. Because Brock Lesnar has left the WWE and obtained remarkable success in the UFC, and is a mainstream name more so than any other athlete wrestler that there is in the business. Mm-hmm. And Goldberg has this aura of, oh, I remember Goldberg when I used to watch wrestling. So their plan is, and it will work, is to get people who may not have been following wrestling for the last couple years, be like, oh shit, yeah, you be like, oh, I remember Goldberg. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and see how he does against Brock. That's why they're doing it. But in terms of, in my head, I feel like I want WrestleMania to be like the accumulation of the entire year, and I want the best wrestlers putting on the best matches that they could possibly put on.
Right.
Now, I'm not, I try my hardest not to be one of those asshole internet fans who are just gonna shit on them no matter what they do, but I don't feel like Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg has any type of capability of putting on a match, an actual match that's gonna be worth a main event at WrestleMania. I could be wrong. They might beat the fuck. They could. The thing I'm worried about is like Goldberg going any type amount of time. Because so far since he's been back, he's beaten everybody in less than a couple minutes.
He's got a very Ronda Rousey type of
he's been like we talked about the first Brock Lesnar match, and I was cool with that one. I loved that because it was such a surprise and a shock that he beat Lesnar in less than 2 minutes. But since then, he eliminated Lesnar at the Rumble super quick. I was like, all right, I'm cool with that too. It's building up towards their match at Mania. But then Goldberg had a match against Kevin Owens, and same thing. It was just another minute and a half match, a spear, jackhammer, pin. He's the champion now. He has not done anything since he's been back to lead anybody to believe that he can actually put on an actual match. And people are worried about his conditioning and if he can. Now, it's been a few months since he's known he was doing this, so they might surprise us. I would be cool. I think best case scenario for this match is they physically just beat the shit out of each other for 12 to 15 minutes. And it's just balls to the wall and as physical as a WWE match would get, because Brock he was fucking UFC champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Goldberg is tough dude. He's been training Muay Thai for the last 15 years. Like he's more, had Goldberg left wrestling, if Goldberg and Lesnar were the same age, Goldberg would be that guy who would also go and try to do UFC. He's that dude. He was just too old once it kind of became a thing. So like I said, best case scenario, they just beat the shit out of each other, and it's very physical and it's very hard hitting. But also there's a side of me that thinks that it's going to be another 2-minute match, and it's supposed to be the headline, and people are going to be like, okay.
Yeah, you don't want all those matches leading up to this, and you're pumped to go into it. You're hoping for like a big bang, because like you said, WrestleMania is the biggest event in the wrestling.
Yeah.
You want it to go out with a bang, not with a 2-minute
exactly.
fight.
And I don't know if
I would hope that they are smart enough to know better.
Yeah, you would think, but sometimes WWE does some real dumb shit though too.
Yeah.
But sometimes they surprise us and they do the smart thing. But other matches, Cody, do you have?
Yes.
All right, let's go. I'm gonna give you a rundown. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I found the WrestleMania that I was at.
Which one was
it? It was in Anaheim in 1996.
96.
Mike wasn't born yet.
I was 9.
It was WrestleMania 12.
I don't know. I can't remember.
So the main event was Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart.
Oh, the Iron Man match?
Yes.
Holy shit. So you saw Michaels come from the roof?
Yeah.
Oh, you dickhead.
Right?
And Undertaker defeated Diesel.
Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
I remember that one now.
That's the one that I saw.
Okay. That was in a time of the WWE where they had their main event of WrestleMania was a 60-minute Iron Man match against the two best wrestlers in the world at the time. That's what I want WrestleMania to end on, but that's not a commercial seller. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bummer, but like that match actually ended up going. They went 60 minutes at a draw.
Damn.
Nobody got a pinfall. So Iron Man match, in case you don't know, is as many pinfalls or submissions you get at the end of 60 minutes, the one with the most wins. So you could have like basically like 6 matches inside of that 1 hour limit. They went 60 minutes at a pretty blistering pace, and came to a draw, and then extended it another 5 minutes, and then like 5 or 6 minutes into it, Shawn Michaels got the pinfall. Now it's his first.
Essentially like a sudden death.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So in Shawn Michaels, I mean, to go an hour plus at the main event Mania to get your first title, like it felt special.
Yeah.
Like it felt like holy shit. And these were the two best technically speaking, the best wrestlers in the world at the time. And then now we go to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Goldberg, even at his prime, was never a good technical wrestler.
No.
He was very physical and very strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brock has it in him. If Brock Brock had a main event against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19, that was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And those two, because they both come from an amateur background, that had a weird like amateur match feel to it for like the first half of it.
Mm-hmm.
So Brock Lesnar can do it, but like his character now, it doesn't make sense for him to do it because he's a basically just an ass kicking machine is how they build him now. But yeah, so that's how I want WrestleMania to be as a hardcore wrestling fan. And then like WrestleMania is now more about let's get as many eyes on it as we can. And there's going to be a match. There's a couple matches I'm excited for, and there's going to be a match that blows past all the expectations. There is every year. It's inevitable.
Uh-huh.
But so let's go through the card real quick.
Number 1, first match of the night is a 6-pack challenge of ladies for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. It has Alexa Bliss
champion
versus well, I guess these are all versus. I can't really say.
Yeah.
So Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Mickie James, Carmella, and Carmella with James Ellsworth.
Yeah, James Ellsworth accompanies her to the ring now. That's his like thing, which is funny because like back in the day, it was like a dude would always have a girl accompany to the ring, and the girl would like grab the guy's foot or something, and it's kind of like just a role reversal. So it's really funny watching Ellsworth like get involved in women's matches and get slapped and get beat up, but Carmella keeps winning, so it works.
That's hilarious.
And the last one, and that is Naomi.
All right,
Nagata.
Bummer part about this one, that's on the pre-show. It's a title match, and it's on the pre-show.
Oh.
I'm against that.
Oh, so these first 3 are pre-show ones.
Yeah. So with the network now, like you could do pre-show matches. Like I get it, whatever. But like I wish they wouldn't put title matches on pre-shows.
Yeah.
But this one's on a pre-show. It doesn't really matter that much from a viewing standpoint. It's gonna suck for them because the crowd's gonna be about half full at that time.
Yeah.
That's how it was last year. The first pre-show match, there's out of the 100,000 that ended up being there in that stadium, there's probably like 20,000 in that stadium during that first match, and it just was really awkward.
Yeah, I bet.
But this match has the potential. I don't know how it's gonna work with all of them because they haven't really specified if they're all gonna be in the ring at the same time or if it's gonna be like an elimination and then one comes out, one comes out, kind of thing. But this one has the potential to be a very good match because the SmackDown women have been very, very good as of late and putting on really good matches. So I think that one could be good.
All right. Match number 2 of the pre-show. We have Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship.
All right, Austin Aries
Aries, sorry.
versus Neville. This is another one that
fuck up.
pisses me off. Another title match. They just reintroduced the cruiserweights back as a division.
Okay.
Cruiserweights being, I think they say it's 205 and under.
Okay.
They try to make it very MMA like with they had weigh-ins and stuff like that kind of thing to make sure they're legit under.
Mm-hmm.
That title just came back like 4 months ago, and they're putting the match on the pre-show. Those two are great wrestlers and can tear the house down. That shit should be on either first match of the actual card or deeper into the card and let people build towards it.
Right.
But that match, if they give them time, they need 20 minutes. And maybe that's why they're in the pre-show, because they can afford to give people more time on the pre-show. But if they get 20 minutes, they could have a phenomenal match.
How long's the pre-show?
All right.
Dude, Mania, it's going to be like 3 hours worth of pre-show.
Because
I think there's 3 pre-show matches, right?
third match
Yeah, so there's probably going to be 3 hours of pre-show.
is a 30-man battle royale.
All right. So the battle royal, I hate this personally. I do like the fact they called it the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yep.
So it's cool that they're every year now. This will be the 4th one that they do. So this is going to be a fixture going on. I think this is the only match that makes sense to put on the pre-show. Because every year at WrestleMania, before the show got started, they always did a battle royal anyway. So now slap a name on it, but you never used to see it. Like, you had to be there to see it. It was like a special thing you only saw if you're there. So this is the only one I think should be on the pre-show. But I don't much care for battle royals. So this one's basically like the Royal Rumble, except for everyone starts in the ring at the same time. So it's faster and it's a little bit more chaotic. Yeah. And there's always some cool pieces to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to get excited about a over the top battle royal.
It's going to be 30 people starting it.
Yeah, starting at the same time.
Because what you're talking about,
yeah, the
Royal
Rumble starts with 2, and every 90
every
seconds
minutes somebody comes in.
I think it's a minute and a half or 3 minutes. I can't remember. But yeah, so instead of that, all 30 right in there, right off the get-go.
Jeez.
And it always makes for some cool moments.
Oh, yeah.
But like no one's gonna at the end of this WrestleMania be like, oh man, did you see that Battle Royal? Like, that's not a thing that's ever been said. So
that's a thing that is never, ever, 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 ever said
in the history of ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's next?
The first official match of the pay-per-view is Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton for the single for the
Is
WWE
that listed
Championship.
as the first match of the night?
It is.
All right. if you're not last, you should be first.
This can't be, because this says Goldberg and Brock Lesnar is the second match of the night.
All right, so they might be showing that wrong. Because I thought those would be the last 2 matches of the night.
I thought the same thing. I just looked at it.
Sure
Anyway, we'll just talk about that one. Bray Wyatt, I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt. I was super excited at Elimination Chamber when he won. I thought it was a shock. I thought it was cool. He hasn't really done anything wrestling-wise since he's won the belt, because they've been building this feud with Randy for like 6 months now.
Damn.
Which is kind of remarkable this day and age that they let a slow burn like this happen to accumulate at Mania. So I'm probably most excited about this match and one other. I'll tell you that one when we get to it.
All right.
So this one's cool. This is old school to me. This is 2 actual wrestlers. It's for the title. They're both full-time employees of the company, and they're both on TV every week, and it's been a storyline. So if you've been following wrestling, this is one of the few matches that you have a chance of being emotionally attached with.
Attached to?
So
yeah.
I'm very excited about this match, because Randy Orton is great in ring wise, and right now he's got this cool kind of character thing that he's doing, and then Bray Wyatt has been always great charismatically speaking, and is really over the last year coming to his own as an in-ring performer. So this should be a very, very fun match. I'm really looking forward to this one.
All right.
Their website doesn't even have a fucking listing of it.
Yeah, they're shitty like that.
All right, hold on.
So,
Good.
because I'm trying to remember the last time I even watched a WrestleMania. Even when I was watching wrestling towards the late 90s, early 80s. Wow. Late 90s, early 2000s. I don't think I've ever really watched a WrestleMania because it's always been on pay-per-view.
Right.
So I don't know actually the format and what is usually included, because you're already talking about the pre-shows are a lot of title matches, and that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you put title matches? Shouldn't all the title matches be in WrestleMania?
See, you don't even watch wrestling, and you think that that's the weird thing. I don't know why. I think they want to make the pre-shows matter. Because now that we're not in an age of actual pay-per-view anymore, we're in the age of the network where they don't have to. Mania was a big deal because most pay-per-views usually lasted 3 hours.
Okay.
All right. Mania always lasted 4.
Okay.
So you had those extra couple matches on there. And it really made it feel like a special thing. And you usually had all the title matches on there. Mm-hmm. So now that Mania can now still go 4, but they also have 3 hours of pre-show for Mania. So it's like when you watch, again, the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. There's coverage on the Super Bowl starting like at 9 a.m. till the game.
Yeah.
Same kind of ideal going into Mania. There's 3 hours of reporting, interviews, things that have been happening that week. Like they're going to go through everything that had happened in the past week. Mm-hmm. And then with a match every hour. So I think with the titles, I think some of it is honestly Vince not thinking that a main crowd is going to care about it. But again, that could be the internet nerd in me bitching about it. Yeah. I think what's more likely is that they want people to be tuning in to the pre-shows. And so if they just put matches that no one would care about on the pre-show, no one has a reason to watch.
But that's where the 30-man battle royale comes in, because that's going to last a little while. I mean,
that's got to go at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of what it is they want to put importance on the pre-show, and again have their advertisements and everything. Realize like a pre-show is almost just as good as paying for Mania, but at a discounted rate.
Yeah.
So they have good advertisements going during the pre-show. They throw a couple title matches in the Battle Royal. So you're going to see a lot of names on the pre-show. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think the pre-show is available on YouTube without the network.
So it'll be live streaming on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. So with that in mind, you would give them a chance to get that last push to have people sign up for the network before Mania starts. So I get it business-wise. It's just like as a wrestling fan, I feel like the importance itself should just be Mania. You know what I mean?
And that's the way I look at it, too, because like I said, you say the Battle Royale in the pre-show. That does make sense because it's taking all the wrestlers that aren't going to be in WrestleMania, that are not going to be competing for a belt.
Give them a moment.
And gives them a moment to actually do something.
Yeah.
And then you move into the rest of WrestleMania, which is then you're just working up through the different belts in order to get to the main belt.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
That's the way it sounds like it should be.
But they have to run it like a business sometimes too. So
fuck businesses.
So I think maybe. So do you think Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton would be
second to last?
Second to last or last?
I think either second to last or last. All
right. So this other website I found, website on CBS Sports. This is the list they have. So they say the 30-man's first.
Okay.
Then it's the cruiserweight. Then it's the ladies.
Either way, that might make sense. Yeah.
Then it says they start with the tag team championship triple threat ladder match.
That makes sense.
That
makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass, and Cesaro.
Oh, nice.
And Sheamus. All
right. This one I'm pretty pumped about.
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
are.
big fan of
Sheamus.
Enzo Amore and Big Cass, who have made their debut the Raw after Mania last year, and they're good. Enzo is one of the best people on a mic right now. He's a shit talker to like epic proportions, and Cass is really, really good in the ring, and he's gotten a lot better.
Al Roker will be
a ring announcer.
ring
Yeah.
announcer.
You're joking.
Nope.
Yeah, for one of Cena's match.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Cesaro and Sheamus. I feel like Cesaro and Sheamus are two guys that like are good and they haven't known what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just kind of put them in a team together, and it's actually ended up working pretty well. Which that shit usually never works, but those two guys are, especially Cesaro, has been very good wrestling wise for a very long time. Sheamus has been at the top at certain points in his career. But I felt like about 8-9 months ago, they didn't know what the fuck they were going to do with those two. So they're just like, just team them up and see if it works. And it accidentally worked. And then Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I'm super pumped about because they were tag team champions in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've been tag champs in multiple companies, and they've come in and done a really good job. And again, this is another case. I wish, a little bit of me wishes it was just a, 2-on-2 tag team straight up for the belt.
Yeah.
But it's a ladder match, so that could be cool. And what's really cool about this, none of those guys are really like high flyers like the cruiserweights would be. And you kind of expect those people to be in ladder matches. So this one's going to be a ladder match with a bunch of big dudes who don't go to the top rope, don't do flips, don't do crazy shit off of ladders. So I expect this match to be very physical. And instead of using the ladder as a prop to jump off of, like a lot of past ladder matches, they have a unique chance here to
beat each other with a ladder.
Increase the level of intensity and the level of brutality that most ladder matches don't get to. So this match could be one of those ones at the end, like the next day, we're like, holy fuck, did you see that match? Or you see this? And whoever wins the titles, like the crowd kind of likes at least one person on every one of those teams. So whoever wins that match, like no one's gonna be super pissed.
All right.
So that's a good booking on them. That's good story. They've been feuding heading into this, so there's a little bit of a story behind it too. So that match should be a lot of fun.
All right.
Next up is SmackDown's Intercontinental Championship, which is Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin.
This match is gonna blow. Baron Corbin sucks. Okay, Baron Corbin has been getting much better. And if I say anybody in wrestling sucks, I want people to realize like I have mass respect, and they obviously have a level of talent.
Obviously,
they're
there
to that level. Me personally, I have no interest in watching a Baron Corbin match. Dean Ambrose is pretty cool, but he's not one of my favorites to the point where I'm gonna be excited about any one of his matches just because he's in it. Dean Ambrose is better when he's working with somebody who's super interesting. Just like almost all wrestlers are.
Baron Corbin's the one that looks like Riff Raff. The rapper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know
And I don't give a fuck. Like Baron Corbin has not done anything in NXT or on the main roster that made me give a fuck about anything that he does.
So why is he in this belt match?
People seem to like him. Like people in the company, I guess he gets a good reaction from the crowd. Like I said, he's gotten better.
Right.
And he's young and he's very athletic and he does a lot of good things. Like I said, and he's gotten better. So he won the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial thing last year.
Okay.
So he won that last year.
Okay.
So this is the logical progression for him to get a title match on the next show. They've kind of steadily been pushing him along. Technically speaking, this match might be fine. Just emotionally speaking, I don't give a fuck about this match whatsoever.
All right.
Hold on. So, I got some pictures to show Joe.
He's got a weird torso too. He's got a torso problem.
He's a torso problem.
Torso. He used to play for the Cardinals too, and you would think I would like him a lot. Yeah, he was like a practice squad player.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't like never a starter. But you would think, Cardinal player. And like originally I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this dude, but then like he's kind of sucked, and I was like, well, I don't give a fuck about this guy.
Nice.
Sorry, Baron.
Are you though?
If that is your real name.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think it is.
Corbin Dallas. And we're showing Riff. He does look like a roided up Riff Raff.
Wow.
Riff Raff the
Yeah.
rapper, who James what's his face, the actor,
James Gandolfini.
no,
James.
Can you give me another hint?
friends with Seth Rogen.
Franco?
James Franco
Based his
character from Spring Breakers on.
Okay.
This is Baron Corbin.
And the other thing that bugs me is he's clearly going bald,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
won't fucking just shave his head.
Yeah.
That,
In fact, he's got longer hair. He
Yeah.
grew it out.
And it's always super greasy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember watching a match
terrible.
of his now.
Terrible.
Yeah. I don't
think
much
you,
like
I think you showed it to us. Yeah.
Man, whatever. So, next.
Next up, hear all that nonsense. Let's see. So that was that one. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens in the United States Championship for Raw.
Match of the night.
Match of the night, not because he's wearing a shirt.
Damn.
I'm a big Kevin Owens fan.
What? Really? I would never guess that.
It's not like I would wear a shirt or anything,
3 times a
or
week.
multiple
3 times a
shirts. No, I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan. This one, again, remember I said Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt has like a story going into it.
Uh-huh.
They also have a storyline going into this, so you're emotionally invested as a wrestling fan going into this. And Chris Jericho is one of the all-time greats, and he has been doing great work still as of late. Last year at WrestleMania, him versus AJ Styles, I think, was the best actual match of the night last year. And I fully expect for this to be the best actual match. And it's for the US title, which is cool. So somebody's coming out either with the belt still or as a new champ. I fully expect Kevin Owens to win. They might swerve because Jericho's been there for a while. But yeah, this one, there's not a lot to talk about. Kevin Owens is great. He's my favorite current wrestler. He's vastly approaching like my all-time favorite. The promos, the story leading up to this one has been fantastic. The physicality between the two of them, and they're both really good actual wrestlers. They're both really good talkers, and they've both been at the highest levels. Jericho for longer because he's been there longer. So this match, I'm guessing, is going to be the best match of the night when it's all said and done.
Wow. That's pretty early into the...
Yep, that's about mid-card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Next up, we have Raw's Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way Elimination match featuring the current champion, Bayley. Is that, I'm saying that's right? Okay. Versus Charlotte Flair. Is that Ric Flair's daughter?
Ric's daughter.
Real life daughter?
Yeah.
Because I was just looking at her Wikipedia page. She spells her last name like his stage name, but their real last name, Flair. I was like, okay, well, it must be. Because I was like, this can't really be his daughter. I clicked on it. No, her name, that's actually her dad.
Kind of looks like a young Ric Flair, too.
She does, yeah. Except for, like, I would probably do her more.
Yeah. I'd have a better...
She was ripping my dick off.
Like how he says more.
I don't...
I
Young...
mean, fame.
Yeah, mid-80s Rick. He's a handsome man.
Yep. It's a handsome man. Full head of golden hair. Yeah, come on now. That robe, you're like, all right, well, I guess we'll do something. We'll do over the clothes
Limousine riding, jet flying.
Yep.
Come on.
Also in this match is Sasha Banks and Nia Jax.
Nia Jax is a real, like, I know, like, a lot of the wrestling Simones say they're all related, but Nia Jax is an actual cousin of The Rock.
Really?
She's big too. She's a like.
She looks like Bobby Draper.
Does she?
She's much bigger than everyone else, and she's kind of brought in like she was brought up as like the muscle, you know. This match should be fun. I like the fact that it's an elimination match because that means everyone's gonna get some shine. Like, it's not gonna be a cheap, win with like 3 people just outside of the ring kind of thing. I'm a huge fan of Bayley, mostly of her stuff that she did in NXT. She hasn't really had a chance to put on meaningful matches since she's been in the main roster. I mean, she is the champion, but she run it like randomly on an episode of Raw, and it didn't really feel special. It didn't really feel like the build-up was that big to it. But it's still exciting for her to get the title. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see the resemblance to a Rock.
Yeah. So
she's
stacked. I hope Bailey wins because Bailey's my personal favorite out of the four. But Sasha Banks, Bailey, and Charlotte.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Sasha Banks, Bailey, and Charlotte have put on great matches before. Nia Jax is relatively new to like the main event scene for that level, so it'll be interesting. She's obviously not like the same type of athlete as those other three are. As you could tell, she's much bigger, much stronger. She's capable of doing different things. So if they do it right, this match could be good.
Yeah.
But I'm not super thrilled about it. And also the other part that kind of kills it for me is Charlotte and Sasha Banks have had like 10 matches over the past year.
I was just looking at like every picture you type. If you Google one of them, most pictures are them in the ring with each other. So like they have had a ton of matches together, and so I don't really care to see them wrestle more. So the Fatal 4-Way is better than having just those two again, because I don't really give a fuck at this point because I've done it so much. But with an elimination match, you can always have weird team ups and stuff like that. I'm kind of expecting Sasha Banks is a quote air quotes a babyface, a good guy right now. I'm expecting a heel turn. Really? She's not a good guy.
Yeah, it's weird. She kind of flops a lot. Like they changed her character a lot. Flair's a bad guy. Nia Jax is a bad guy. Sasha Banks has been bad guy and good guy a lot, flip flop a lot over the past couple years. Bailey is like you guys would have to watch her to understand. Like she's never gonna be a bad guy in wrestling.
No.
Like the crowd just loves her too much, and she just doesn't have that personality. So I'm kind of expecting Sasha Banks to go bad guy and turn on Bailey. But I hope Bailey wins. I think it'll probably be Flair though. And so
how many women are there in wrestling?
There's a lot now.
There's a lot now.
Yeah, it's over the past 2 years they've really put an emphasis. They even like dubbed it, out like talking about it for real over the past couple years, been like a woman's revolution in terms of wrestling.
That's Bailey.
Yeah,
she does look like she could.
Funky Brewster, like.
Well, she comes Brewster out just very like poppy, just very.
That's how she is.
Excited,
and she has the inflatable wavy arm guys.
Oh, that's the one part that you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
And she's really good in the ring too, and it kind of pisses me off because at NXT she was just putting on great match after great match after great match, and then since she's got called up to the main roster, she hasn't really had a chance to put on like a really great match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting, I'm expecting a big performance out of her because she's finally getting her chance. So hopefully she pulls it out. But as long as she just puts on a good showing, that's all that really gonna matter.
All right. What's next, Cody?
Next up, we have a mixed match, which is male and female, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a mixed tag. It's John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice, is that it? Maurice? Mm-hmm. And that's the one Al Roker is a special guest ring announcer for.
Right. She's French.
Yeah.
And she's been in Playboy. Google.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't give a fuck about this match at all.
How does that work, though?
What title is this for?
It's not for a title, dude. It's just a dumb storyline. The reason this match is happening is Nikki Bella, John Cena's real life girlfriend, is a wrestler. She's been on that show Total Divas on E.
Yes.
And then the Bella twins got their own spinoff, which John Cena's in prominently because it takes place mostly in his house.
Makes sense.
Okay. The Miz has gone off and done a bunch of those WWE movies. He's kind of got this like I want to be a movie star character thing that he's doing. I never, again, not everyone that's at this level is good, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck about The Miz. Same as Baron Corbin. Like, nothing he's ever done made me go like, oh, I want to watch this match. And I feel like this is...
Sounds like this is going to be...
This is almost below John Cena, I feel like. This is just a gimmicky, dumb match.
Yes.
And it's there.
Nikki Bella.
I feel like this match is happening because of the reality show
Yes.
And it's more happening for like the next season of the reality show when we can see the behind the scenes of all this.
Do you watch any of the reality show?
No.
Okay.
Is it on the app?
Well, that's what.
Some of the older seasons are. Yeah.
So who and then who is the audience for that type of show? I wonder.
Same people watch like the Kardashians.
But it's such a weird thing because I wouldn't think that
They're
those two.
They're trying to grab that audience who may be watching that for the reality TV show purpose. Because like my wife watches shitty reality shows,
right?
But she also watches wrestling, so it kind of doesn't apply. But imagine if Jen didn't watch wrestling, but she liked those reality shows. I'm a wrestling fan. She'd be into this match because it's the people she sees on the reality show.
Right.
So I think that's why they're doing it. And again, I just don't give a fuck about this match at all, and I wish it wasn't happening.
Because that does definitely seem more like something that you would see in a regular match, like just a regular show, I should say. Because you're right, WrestleMania should be more of something that's going to be about the titles.
It should be titles, and even if it's not a title, there should be a big storyline going into it. And this has a storyline because of the reality show.
It's something from.
Yeah, it's from something else, and they're trying to grab that audience, which I totally get why they would do it. And there's certain other wrestlers that I think this might work for. But again, I feel like John Cena is one of the all-time greats. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have bitched over the last few years about how, he beats everybody. He's always the champ, blah, 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 blah. And I understand that. But at the same time, he's in that position for a reason. He's really fucking good. Uh-huh. And he gets a reaction from the crowd. Boo or cheers. He gets reactions. This match, I feel like I've never been the biggest John Cena fan. I've definitely recognized how great he is.
Right.
But I feel like this match is below him. I feel like this is one of the matches where like if he was gonna like pull his like diva moment, he should have pulled it on this card and been like, no, I'm not doing this fucking match. But it's happening. And
it's my girl.
Rumors are he's gonna propose.
Yeah, that's the big. I guess the big point of the show, the point of contention in the reality show, is that John Cena was once married, and he's been very public, even way before the show had ever started, before he was even dating Nikki, that he was never gonna get married again.
Wow.
So I guess because I was reading like why the fuck is this match happening? I guess that's the other thing. Rumors are he's gonna propose after the match, after they win.
Well, here's the hope they lose, huh?
Yeah. So. I don't know,
we lost.
And
we're
if that
never
happens,
gonna get married.
I'm gonna be good for them, but it's obviously fake as shit. Like it's not a genuine moment. Like you know what I mean? It's just dumb.
All right.
Next up, another throwaway match. I'm guessing since it's not a championship, is Shane McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that how you say that one? Right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't pronounce it weirdly.
No, he's part of the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
McMahon,
yeah. And AJ Styles.
All right, this is a weird one. Shane McMahon does crazy shit when he wrestles, and he's not really a wrestler.
Like his dad?
No, he's in good shape, but he's not. He's not. I'm Vince.
Vince fucking two McMahons.
So last year he jumped off of the Hell in a Cell.
Dude, have you seen that dude?
No, I've seen the dude. It's just I'm Vince too many McMahons.
Yeah, he's fucking wrecked, bro.
So Shane has a history of he doesn't have a lot of matches, but when he does have matches, it's a stunty kind of thing, and he does crazy shit. And he's put on great matches, but not for traditional reasons, more for the physicality and the spectacle of it. Last year at WrestleMania, he faced The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell, and he jumped off the Hell in a Cell.
Damn.
On through a table which had padding underneath it. And people were like, I can see the padding. But like, yeah, because people shouldn't die in a wrestling match.
Exactly.
But still crazy because that
should
shit's
make it more
super
real.
high.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is. A lot of people say he's like this generation's Shawn Michaels. Like he's that good. Like he can't have a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gonna be great no matter what. They got a little bit of a storyline going on. Not expecting this match to be great, but I think it could be one of those ones where it's sneaky good. And the rumors are that Shane has not been happy. He's had 2 matches since he came back last year, the Mania and the Survivor Series. And rumors are that he's not happy with his performances in those matches. Like, it wasn't to his level of what he used to do before he had left.
Somebody.
So
Wow.
he's talking about, like, I guess he's been really training hard for this for a while now and trying to make sure he does better than he has in the past. So it could be good. I'm not expecting it to be good. There's definitely going to be something in this match that happens. It's going to be a holy shit moment. And I think that's what this whole match is about. Is just giving you that one big, oh my God moment.
So this is going to be more of a fun match to watch.
Yeah, this should be one of those ones where lots of people going through tables, jumping off of shit, fucking chair, like all the tricks and reaching everything out of the tool bag for this one. So
all right.
Tool bag. Next up is a non-sanctioned match from Raw, which is Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
Seth frickin' Rollins. Not what that says here. That's he calls
it's a misspell.
I'll go with it.
Frickin's his middle name. I'm excited about this match. Seth is a really, really good wrestler. He missed last WrestleMania with a knee injury. No, for a real blew his knee out real bad a couple months before Mania. Came back shortly after Mania, was doing great, and it's all been leading to, you talk about long running storylines. This storyline with Triple H has not been like a on TV every week, but the roots go back 3 years for this match. And they were supposed to have their one-on-one match last year at Mania, but Seth blew out his knee.
So they couldn't do it.
So they're gearing towards it again this Mania, and Seth got hurt again.
Oh.
But it wasn't as serious this time, and he missed some time, and he rehabbed. So the whole not sanctioned thing is they're trying to play that off like he's still hurt, which obviously they wouldn't be having the match if there was real risk of him, you know what I mean, hurting. But he is coming off of a legitimate actual knee injury going into this match, so it's kind of cool. I'm expecting it to be like a hardcore kind of just like a brutal match with, I'm expecting lots of interference in this match too. But Seth Rollins is great. Triple H only comes back for Mania basically now. He's kind of like Undertaker at this point. Where he only comes back for Mania. So I'm expecting this match to be good, not great, but it should be fun.
Fair enough. What's next?
Hold on, pulling up pictures.
Why?
Seth frickin' Rollins.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's what he sounds like too.
Why are you pulling up Jason Momoa?
You'll see in a minute.
Okay, fair enough.
Mike knows why. So next up is another non-championship match from Raw, which is The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. This is why I brought up Jason Momoa, because Roman Reigns is actually Jason Momoa, but as an alter ego.
Yeah.
And I'll show you why I say that, because for reals,
Roman Reigns is Samoan.
Yep. It's ridiculous.
So so you're not saying that Roman Reigns is Jason Momoa?
No, he is.
Tell me he's not. Tell me he's not.
You're just saying that they look the
Who's
same.
who? Which one's which?
Well, based off the tattoos, that's Jason Momoa.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
He's
I'm sure.
For the people listening, he's pointing at the correct picture. Yes, that's Jason
pointing at
Momoa.
the
Hey,
picture.
don't fucking ruin it.
I know Jason Momoa's tattoos. Well, maybe not all of them. I mean, he might have some.
On his dick.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems like a guy that has a dick tattoo too.
Yeah.
Says all aboard.
Like he got it one night when he's super drunk.
Oh.
And he had to keep hard somehow through the whole thing. So
for him, it's probably easy.
he just goes
Coke and whiskey.
All right.
Exactly. No, it's not Coke and it's Guinness. You say
He
Guinness.
does drink a lot of Guinness.
Just
Like
saying Guinness.
I said Guinness
Rock
twice.
hard.
I said Guinness twice. I'm sure he got rock
that
hard.
picture got a boner now just from
Exactly.
saying Guinness.
But yes, I can definitely see what you're saying. Like they do have very similar characteristics to them.
All right. About this match. The wrestling world seems to hate Roman Reigns.
Okay.
When he won the championship 2 years ago,
Yeah.
people lost their fucking minds.
People got so mad.
So remember we showed you that video of
is
alternate
he
Mike?
considered a bad guy or a good guy?
Yes.
Or just not sure?
Here, I'll get into that.
So remember we showed you that video of alternate Mike destroying all of his fucking wrestling stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh.
People hate Roman Reigns. And the reason they hate Roman Reigns is they feel like, again, the internet community of wrestling fans have this idea that Roman was pushed. When you say pushed, it means getting that main event level matches. Because, spoiler, wrestling is rigged and the winners are predetermined.
What?
So people had deemed him, he's getting pushed like he's being pushed down our throats. And there was a minute where you're like, holy shit, like they can bring it back a notch. But here's the thing. As much as people say they hate Roman Reigns and they want to they boo the shit out of him. And he's not his character's not a traditional bad guy character. It's very much so like John Cena was 5 years ago, where people were just sick of seeing him. So they wanted to boo him, even though shit sold better if he was on it. It's the same thing. Tickets sell more when he's on shows. The numbers prove it. The ratings are better when he's in main events. The ratings prove it. People want to boo him. The thing is, when he goes into big matches, though, when he has a showcase to really he fucking delivers every time. And he gets the crowd back. He's made crowds go from booing him to start to cheer for him and kind of turn. But then as soon as he wins a match, people are like, oh yeah, that's right, we didn't like him, and they start booing again. So this whole like everyone hates Roman Reigns is more of an internet thing. I think Roman Reigns is pretty dope. He has improvements to do. He's only been on the main roster for like 4 years.
All right.
And he's already headlined 2 WrestleManias and going against Undertaker at a Mania, which is basically, if you're not main eventing WrestleMania, like going against Taker at Mania is the other main event. It always is now since the streak
Young
and since
guy
he's
versus legend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how they're building this one up. The other thing that makes this interesting, outside of the fact that it's Undertaker, and we don't get to see Undertaker that much. We see him basically once a year now. Is that there's always been rumors over the last 5 years that every Mania could be his last one. But this, like, legitimately could be Taker's last Mania because he's got really bad hip problem now.
Okay. That
he needs surgery on. And they're saying the surgery is going to end his career. Like, he's not going to be able to wrestle after he has that surgery.
Wow.
So he's been, all the appearances that he's made, not actual matches, but, you got to sell the fight between him and Roman. He's gotten physical with people, that he's been in a ton of pain. So this is, again, reading like the dirt sheets and stuff, that he is just in a shit ton of pain and is having a really hard time getting out of these matches. I don't think we'll be able to tell during the match because Taker's been doing this for so long and he's such a badass that I'm pretty sure he's gonna no sell any actual injury that he has.
Yeah.
But not, again, on paper, not super excited about this match, but I like Roman Reigns. Obviously, Taker's great, and the fact that this is more than likely actually Taker's last match ever should make for something cool. So you don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be the passing of the torch kind of thing, if they're, if like Roman's going to cheat to win and actually go bad guy and give the crowd the reason to boo him, which I really think they should do. I kind of want him to win by cheating. And also, if it is Taker's last match, it's tradition. It's tradition in the business. If this is your last match, you're not supposed to win that match.
Really?
Because that way you don't have to.
Shawn Michaels' last match was against Undertaker. He lost that match. The feeling behind it. If you're leaving, you need to they call it put over the other talent and go. Same thing like long time ago, Kevin Nash was the biggest superstar in the WWF had. He was going to WCW, and Vince told him, all right, well, before you go, we know you're leaving after that. I need you to lose to Undertaker at Mania because we need to build Taker up. And he said, absolutely, no problem. And he got his ass kicked by Taker at Mania. And like, that's how it goes. Like Ric Flair's last match, lost, like you're supposed to lose that last match. It's a long running tradition. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I feel like if Undertaker knows he's been in this business long enough, and he's already lost at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar a couple years ago, his one and only loss. So I feel like it's not that big of a deal if he loses now because he's already lost at Mania. But this could be a good way to, everyone can say goodbye to him. We can get Roman Reigns to turn heel and he could be a hellacious heel. He could be a really good bad guy. And he could put over that younger generation and, you know, ride off into the sunset and do the right thing. So
all right,
should be good.
Yeah.
Up next, we have SmackDown's WWE Championship match with Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton.
Again, this was the one I'm second most excited about. We already talked about it. Hoping Bray Wyatt retains, but either way, this match should be pretty dope.
All right.
And last but not least, the Raw Universal Championship match versus the current champion, Goldberg, versus Brock, the challenger, Lesnar.
Yeah. So, again, for everything we talked about earlier, I am not really excited about this match, especially knowing that it should be the main event. They could always do things. They could always have something happen or somebody come back that we're not expecting to.
Double death in the ring.
Something, for Christ's
Double
sake.
coffin match.
And here's the other thing. These two had a match at WrestleMania 20 against each other.
Yeah.
And they were both leaving. This is like the birth of like internet smart wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
They were both leaving. That was both their last matches. And so the crowd kind of turned on them because they felt like they were like being betrayed by their people, you know? And that match sucked.
Yeah.
Like that match was not good at all. And they're doing it again. And so I'm a little nervous. And like I said, I don't know if Goldberg has the capabilities of putting on a good match anymore. But we're going to find out. And I'm expecting, again, 10 to 15 minutes is just brutal violence, followed by something weird happening. Somebody interfering, somebody making a big return, a big star from another company coming in for something like that has to happen to lift the buzz and the morale of that crowd before they leave.
All right.
So, side note, that's the card. All right. I did say a handful of matches should be good. There's only 2 matches that I'm really excited about. And also, there's a thing called the SmackDown Tag Team Champions that aren't even being fucking defended at WrestleMania.
Why not?
I don't know. The 2 champs are in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. There's rumors that there's going to be a surprise match. And
Okay.
it's gonna be for the titles. So that means a return, probably of the Hardy Boys, is what the rumors are. Who were a great tag team a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember them.
So if that happens, that'll make me feel a little bit better. But also super bummed that like they're not advertising like one of their tag
title
team
matches.
champions are not being advertised on the card at all, which is a bummer. And that main event's gonna be trash, and they're gonna have to do something to lift it up and make it fun for the crowd to leave happy.
Right.
Speaking of rumors for WrestleMania 33,
Yeah. I
looked them up.
Oh, I didn't even really look up rumors. Let's spoil some shit.
Boom, bitch. All right. This is just there's a bunch, but one of the big ones I saw was Hardy Boys likely to win Raw tag titles.
Okay.
So surprise match, as Mike said.
Well, that would mean they go into that ladder match.
Yep.
And the Hardy Boys kind of revolutionized the ladder matches, so that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So it currently stands that WWE is promoting a triple threat tag team match with Anderson and Gallows defending against Enzo and Cass. And Sheamus and Cesaro. However, the Hardys are heavily speculated to be returning over that weekend and could be in that bout. So it'll be a 4-way.
That would blow the roof off the joint if they came back. That would be one of those things where like, hey, I know this main event sucks, so we gave you the Hardy Boys.
There was another one. Finn Balor is supposed to make a interference appearance during one of the matches.
That sounds cool. Interference. Appearance.
Yep. I just made that up right now.
Finn Balor has been out injured, hasn't come back to TV yet, but he's been wrestling the house shows for the last couple of weeks. So that makes sense. He's cleared to come back, but they've kept him off TV. So,
according to IW Nerd, which is the site that brought this up, I don't know what it stands for.
Internet wrestling nerd.
Sure, why not? Finn Balor won't have a match on the grandest stage of them all. However, that does not mean he won't make an appearance because he's expected to be the equalizer to Samoa Joe, who is rumored to show up during this match between Seth Rollins and Triple H. So
That
it's a
makes
double.
sense.
It's a double.
Yeah, it kind of turned it into a tag team
Yep.
brouhaha.
All right.
And
Anything
then-
saving that main event?
Anything to save that main event.
Like, putting it on in the middle of the show, maybe.
And the other one, which kind of goes towards Mike's, is the match between Goldberg and Lesnar will actually turn out to be a bigger thing because before the match starts, he will announce if he beats Brock Lesnar, he will extend his contract in the WWE to defend his championship.
Wow.
His contract currently is slated to be done at Mania.
Okay.
Like, that should be his last appearance. But they've held off because they know that contract talks get out very easily.
Uh-huh.
So they hold off a lot of times than officially signing contracts until that thing's up so they could switcheroo on people.
All right.
So that's Mania. I didn't think that was going to take an hour, guys.
That's fine. It's our
Fuck it.
Mike's Wrestling Hour.
It lasted long. It's going to last way less than all the pre-shows for Mania, though. So,
We can
May.
try.
May
We-
last longer than the event, the
Oh.
title match.
oh, it's for sure going to
We
last
already
longer.
beat that.
Yeah.
Before we go, yeah, we got time. Did you have any science stuff?
Not now. I'm tired.
Okay. Cool. You want to talk about a few things we watched, real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to start with? What do you want to start with?
Spider-Man.
You want to start with Spider-Man?
I want to start with Spider-Man. I want to end with Justice League. You figure out the...
So Spider-Man was cool. So was Justice League. We're done.
Wow.
Someone's salty.
Joe is super mad that we skipped Joe's science stuff.
No, I'm not too mad at all. We can go back and do the two things that I had.
No, it's fine. You don't want to talk about it. It's cool.
No, this past Friday, they did a spacewalk.
Oh, dang. Is that where the guy almost died?
No.
Damn, I was hoping something like that spicy would happen.
No, they're just beginning to retrofit the International Space Station so that they can start receiving more commercial spacecraft.
It's fucking terrifying.
And that way they don't have to rely upon the $80 million, I think it was. No, $80 billion that they pay the Russians in order to go up on the Soyuz. Yeah,
We
it's a
should start
lot of money,
raking that in ourselves, huh?
right?
Damn.
We're in the wrong business,
Even,
fellas.
Wrong
even half of that,
business.
the United States could fucking easily start lowering that fucking national debt, huh?
Yeah, but this was the first of three.
How are we
it
supposed
was
to build that
actually-
wall, though?
Right, I know.
With that fucking money. You shitting me? 40 million? Or 40 billion?
80 billion.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying we cut that in half, undercut them. Which you never want to undercut the Russians, but if
No.
you're going to do it, do it. But come on now, 40
They're
40
usually
billion?
the ones that can actually do it the cheapest.
40
It's
billion a
super
year?
weird.
So, like, come on, we can probably make that
Did
work.
you see that they said it was like 64 miles of the wall is going to cost $1 billion.
Yeah. Jesus.
Fuck,
And
right?
it's not even a quarter of the wall.
That's not even no.
I think they said it was like it was like a 25th of what the planned wall
Yeah,
is.
it was like super small.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like won't even cover a state,
Yeah.
basically.
but so that was like I said, they got that was one of three spacewalks that they have planned to do the retrofit. I actually watched this one live
I'll show you what, you
on
told me that.
on YouTube. So if you don't know, it's really cool that YouTube has been doing live streaming of a lot of events. You can obviously watch this on NASA TV. They have an app. They have a channel. I have no clue what the channel is anymore.
736.
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I made that
Yeah, I
up.
don't know. I know.
But
I said it confidently, though.
but it's super
You
dope.
sold that shit,
I
Michael.
really did. If you've never watched anything like that live, it's like super cool to watch.
Is it? I've never watched it live, but I feel like I would be too worried.
No, so that reminds me. So while watching it, it made me think like, what if something really fucked up
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, like I'd be nervous because like you're dealing with space. Even the most routine thing in space, you're still in
It's
fucking
still fucking
space.
dangerous. Yeah.
Like I would be too nervous to watch any of that. I get nervous when they show clips of like the astronauts like FaceTiming home and stuff. I'm like, what if like something lands on the outside of the ship?
It's like eating
You
it.
know what I mean? Like
He's just doing a walk, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's doing his walk, and all of a sudden you see like a little, like him move a little bit, and he's like this, and it's like
Something
little blood,
burst.
like it
Yeah.
just
You're like,
like
oh.
you just realize like a little particulate just shot right through him,
Yeah.
and it's like blood is just trickling out, and he's trying to stop it, but he can't
That's
get
so
pressure because of
frightening.
the suit and the glove. He's
Oh, God,
this-
I'm
he
so-
comes up and it's just coated in blood, and because it's outside, there's no atmosphere. The blood just pulls up, and it's like the same. I can't remember the dude that always does the science experiments. He does the paper towel,
Which
the
one?
water. I can't remember his name.
Oh, James Hatfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like
Or
does
Chris
that
Hatfield.
thing.
Sorry,
Chris Hatfield. So he does
I
the
was like, is that guy from Metallica?
so you know he does the thing with the water, with the paper towel in the water.
Yeah,
But he does that, but he lifts his hand up and it's just like gobs of blood, just like barely clinging to his glove. He's like, and then a bigger one, just his head right off.
Yeah, space makes me nervous.
So I'm saying, fuck that place.
Fuck space.
There's two places I don't want to ever go: Australia, because there's more poisonous things than anywhere else in the world. Why not? Because it's a prison colony. And
Yeah.
Space, because I don't trust that shit. I don't trust that shit. I don't trust it.
Don't trust it.
I don't want to be the first person who goes over there and doesn't hold the secret that the world is flat and be like, oh shit, these dumb idiots were actually correct.
Oh.
Oh.
Just kidding. I would never do that. I would keep that secret for sure.
No, by the way,
Have you heard the actual?
Shaq claims he was joking the
Yeah.
whole time.
Did you hear the actual audio clip that got released?
No.
So it got released.
Anyway.
He's on. He can't. I think he got so much shit that he says he was joking. I legitimately, when he said it, I was like, either he became the world's best actor.
And I've seen Kazam, so no,
Yeah,
he's not. The
in
world's best
Steel.
actor.
You love Steel.
No.
I know you do.
Shazam.
Shazam, Steel. Well, Steel. Remember Steel when he was Superman?
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
Steel.
He legitimately thinks that. Like, he legitimately thinks the world is flat. And it was terrifying. Anyways, go ahead. Not
Space Bot.
Space Death. What was the other?
So the other one coming from space.com, astronomers to peer into a black hole for the first time with the Event Horizon telescope.
I was gonna say-
No,
I was gonna
see that's more.
A, there's two. I was gonna say there's two things about that, or three things. A, in certain cities you actually pay extra for that. B, nothing with the name Event Horizon should ever be used for something like this or at all. If you're involved in a project that uses anything that has the names together, Event Horizon, you
Right?
quit, you lock yourself in a cave, and you never ever talk about it.
Because I saw that movie.
Because I've seen people get skinned and walk around.
Yep.
I've seen Sam Neill, that dinosaur guy, lose his shit.
And pull his eyes out.
Pull his fucking eyes out, bro. Eyes out. Alive. He did it himself. Fuck
Boom.
you. Fuck you. Number 3, I don't trust black holes. Why? Because I don't trust what they actually stand for. Unknown shit. Space is big. We know that. We've talked about this. Billions of stars you can see, right? Black hole, you can't see shit.
Yeah,
I don't trust it.
I'm all for like exploring everything you can, but again, if you imagine if this was something I don't know how it works, obviously.
They're gonna
But
Howard Duck the
if they
place.
could like live stream this or something, and you saw something, and then
That'd be
live
dope
stream
if
had to
they
cut
could live
off,
stream it.
and then like the whole world is just left wondering what the fuck we're about to get eaten by.
Or
Or
you see the black hole, right? They're like, all right, we're going to go ahead and zoom in. Something happens, and only the select few that actually decided to watch that live stream get brainwashed by some alien force that none of us see because we didn't watch it, and it can't be recorded. It can only be shown live. Recordings don't actually show it, right?
okay.
Like the Ring shit, right? But like
Okay.
fucked up, and then those people go on a mass murder where they start wearing their friends and neighbors' bodies as clothing, and we have to deal with these people on a regular basis now. Boom! There's your Event Horizon.
Well, you guys are safe. I can't fit into yours.
Combined though,
Maybe.
I said friends and family.
So neither my
You're
family
walking around
either.
with your dad's arm as a sleeve,
Just be so short.
an Adam belt.
Be so short.
Combined though, if you took
so
Adam's
this-
legs, skinned them, and made a belt out of both of them, you could wear that belt.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So this will take place April 5th through April 14th this year. The team behind the Event Horizon Telescope
Blech.
hopes to test the fundamental theories of black hole physics by attempting to take the first ever image of a black hole's event horizon. And that's the point at which theory predicts nothing can escape.
The gravity holds on to it, right?
No, there's
Are they putting something into it?
No.
Oh, there's waiting for
So
something?
no. So what they're doing is they're doing it by connecting a global array of radio telescopes together to form the equivalent of a giant Earth-sized telescope.
Oh. Okay, we're fucked.
Using a technique known as very long baseline interferometry.
They really do need to work on their names.
And Earth aperture synthesis.
Big ass telescope number 7. That's what they're starting to call shit.
Yep. Scientists will peer into the heart of our Milky Way galaxy, where a black hole that is 4 million times more massive than our sun, Sagittarius A, lurks.
Why do they say lurks? Lurks insinuates that it's waiting to get us.
We talked about Howard the Duck earlier today. I'm sorry, James Gunn. We're going to talk about it right now.
Go for it.
That's the kind of shit that leads them crazy fucking lizard scorpion things to Earth to hunt down Howard.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You magnify or radio wave something into that, and they're like, oh, what's this? And they can grab a hold of it because there's crazy space monsters who have advanced technology, and then they come, like, one of them just makes it down that beam, gets inside fucking the doctor, and he goes on a way to find and make that laser array more powerful to bring the rest of them down. And we have to worry. We have to put our lives in the feathery hands of Howard the Duck and that guy from the prison movie, Tim Robbins, to save us.
Oh, yeah, huh?
And what's her name?
Yeah, well, she didn't do much. She screamed a lot. She yelled Howard's name to wake him up when he got knocked out. But come on, man. Like, really? I don't want to put I don't want my life in their hands. Tim Robbins is a fuck up. He's been dating that old lady for how long?
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, that's the one. The other one from Thelma and Louise.
But
and
she made him a better baseball player. So
in a movie.
Oh, that's also true.
He's too tall to be a baseball player. You know that. I mean, that's some horse shit.
Anyway,
terrifying horse shit. Thanks for.
Yeah, your science minute was scary.
Yeah.
Only because you guys made it scary.
No, you made it scary.
They're going to take these images. They're going to process them. And it's going to look
They're going to see an eyeball. They're going to see an eyeball of a creature.
It's going to be beautiful.
That can't fit through. That's how big he is. He can't fit through the fucking black hole, but he can peer through it.
Well, you know what?
Real quick,
you know what?
On a real note.
And it's really cool.
On a real note. Can they get anything from this? Like, realistically, is there a potential of seeing something that could change how we look at
self-heating toilet seat?
Oh, shit.
Technology to make a self-heating toilet seat.
Because of this black hole?
Yep.
Because of this black hole.
Like, obviously, they think they can.
Yeah.
They can either confirm or dispel things. But is there a chance, like, because you're more into this, is there a chance that we could see something that changes how we approach this entirely? Or
I think with the data, yes, there is a chance that we'll
see us.
No, but there's a chance that
a mirrored universe us?
That maybe that you can see... You can find a way to see the universe in a different light, or and maybe with this discovery you can find out how to more easily find other black holes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And maybe they can understand actually what happens at the event horizon of a black hole, because that's another thing that nobody really knows what actually happens.
How far is that from us?
It's the center of our galaxy, which I think if I recall right, it's 4,000 light years across is our total galaxy, so it'd be somewhere around like 2,000 light years. Let's see, distance.
And that doesn't move, right? But we rotate around our sun. Our sun sits fixed in a spot, right?
Yeah, we're in one of the arms of the Milky Way. Oh, excuse me, way off. No, actually not too far off. So the Milky Way is 100 light years across, So it'd be 50,000.
Oh, only 50,000. Okay,
50,000 light years.
Yeah, it's just
I would
fucking
so
paper plane.
that's 1 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 1 times 10 to the 18th
Jesus.
kilometers. That's across. So half that would be to the center of the galaxy.
So 9.
So if you're essentially if you're traveling at the speed of light, it'll take you 50,000 years to get to the center
Okay,
of the Milky Way.
cool.
All right,
Let's plan a vacation.
let's go now.
Plan
I
a
guess,
vacation. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What was the in that fucked up space movie with Star-Lord and Mystique? How long was
Passengers?
that trip?
Passengers.
Oh, shit.
500
It was no, it was 90 years, I thought.
No, the planned run. It was more than that, I thought. Oh no. No, you're right. It's 90.
Yeah,
It was 90 and then 90 back. Cause she was going to get home 180 years later. And that means everyone she knows is long dead. Anybody she knows who had kids would be long dead too. Yeah. Speaking of space, good segue, Cody. You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
We watched Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. It's trailer number 2. Shows a little more of the story breakdown. Sort of. I mean, the story is basically it's Spider-Man. He's, coming to his own as a superhero.
He's doing things that a spider does.
Yep, like holding the wrecked ship together.
Right.
We saw
not
more
doing
of
a very good job of it, actually.
Well, I mean, he got the insides
he was
covered.
trying to.
But like, yeah, you see more of the interaction with him and the Iron Mans.
Which I didn't realize would be more like it seemed like with the first couple of trailers. Like I knew it. I remember we did see one trailer with actual Iron Man in it. But it seemed like this would be a lot. It'd be very short
makes
cameos.
him look more like.
But this makes it look like he's going to be in it more.
I think we were going to see him sparingly. I think we might have seen all of his stuff in it so
his
far.
scenes.
Yeah, I think we've seen all of his scenes in it.
Which are obviously going to be longer in the movie, but
Right.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna be, I don't want to say mentor in a way.
That's
but
literally what it tries to seem like.
Like in
you
a way,
have that one scene in the new trailer where he, where Peter says, "I want to be like you," and he's like, "Well, no, you should be a better me."
Yeah.
So that's definitely a mentor type.
Yeah.
thing.
So like I think it's gonna be more of like a, he's in it for plot reasons, and that plot reasons is he's trying to help Peter in a way, but without like holding his hand.
And it also seems like he creates a bad guy again.
It's going to be interesting to see how that all happens because
I'm guessing because there's a scene where Keaton says people like Tony Stark, they don't care about us, blah blah blah. So it's like, oh, Tony Stark pissed off somebody again and created the villain for the movie.
Well, I think it's
Tony keeps fucking up.
He does, but
keeping himself in business.
That
That's
scene,
what he's doing.
that scene, I took more away that we're such low level criminals that
we need to raise ourselves up.
No, that the Avengers
won't fuck with us.
won't. Yeah, because we're low level criminals. They don't.
Yeah, we're not dropping cities from the sky.
Yeah, exactly. Not dropping cities. We're not an alien invasion. So
they have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, exactly. So
Those
we're not going
minnows.
to be something that these superheroes are actually going to go after. We can beat the cops essentially, and that's where Spider-Man comes in because he's like, "No, I'm going to help."
Yeah.
And he's all web.
Hello, everyone.
Web.
So we watched that. That looks fucking dope.
It does. It looks super sad though.
It looks like it's gonna have that Marvel sad point to it, where there's a low.
Mm-hmm.
Like comic book fans will know the Spider-Man No More.
Yeah.
Type thing, but it's gonna be less of him giving up and more of him having to rebuild himself.
Yeah.
A la Tony Stark did in Iron Man 3, by the way.
Yeah.
He won't have the fucking post-traumatic stress syndrome.
No.
I don't think, because he was pretty giddy after that fucking Avengers fight in Civil War. We also watched the trailer for Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
I'm fairly confused but sold.
Yeah,
on it.
It's
I
Luke
didn't
Besson.
realize
I
that
don't
it was.
wanna see it.
Shut up.
I didn't realize it was based off of a graphic novel.
French graphic novel.
French graphic
a
novel.
very popular, very copied French graphic novel, by the way. Have you ever heard of Star Wars?
No.
Okay, so Star Wars is a little science fiction movie that came out in the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Fairly popular. If you go on the internet, you'll see stuff about it.
Okay. I'll check the internet
ripped
out.
the fuck off of Valerian for sure.
Fair enough.
Valerian in the City of the Thousand Planets. So Valerian is a gentleman in it. He's the main guy. The City of the Thousand Planets is Coruscant, and essentially, it's a central area.
Yeah.
That has the difference is the technology made by this. I can't remember the name of the people. They're the weird looking like water ish people, look like fishy people.
Okay, yeah.
You saw it, not the fish face, but like they have the
but
really
no, like
big skin
yeah,
and the
you had
weird
that.
you see a lot of
one
them talking.
girl that looked like she was wearing something,
yeah,
but it
like,
was like it
like
looked like a
shells almost.
jellyfish.
Yeah. So they're the main people who built this city, if I remember correctly. Their technology allows them to merge, and the reason it's called the City of a Thousand Planets, the core of it links these planets. So part of the planet is this city. Okay. So you can go in between the different areas of the city, and you're actually traveling to those planets. Mm-hmm. And it's a way for all those people who live on these distant planets that don't have the means or don't want to travel can then go through this magical gate and be a part of this community and share their technology together.
Okay, so these planets aren't physically connected to each
other.
No, they're connected via sort of technological wormhole type thing.
Yeah, so it basically makes up a big city like Coruscant that's different levels, but it links to these different planets, so you can easily go from one place to the other. Mm-hmm. You can travel through space as you normally can, but only certain people can use these portals, and I think someone's trying to take that to do bad things with, I think, is what's happening in this.
It makes sense, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's happening. It looks weird.
Yeah, it looks dope.
My fear is that it's
going to be too weird.
It's going to be one of those, what's that one?
Jupiter
Jupiter's
rising or ascending or whatever. It has that, it doesn't have that look to it, because this looks gorgeous and bright versus but if you think of the two movies, which I actually never saw, Jupiter Ascending,
terrible fucking movie,
that had like more of an overtone of darkness to it, just the way everything looked in design, not the actual story and whatnot of it, whereas this looks very much more light and
this can go one of two ways.
Yeah,
so this is being touted as one of the most important science fiction movies of all time.
Wow.
And the reason why is because a majority of what you see is not humanoid.
Right.
Star Wars, majority of everything is humanoid. You have the select few Jabba the Hutts that have human traits, but they're not humanoid. They don't look like humans.
Yeah.
This has a lot of people who are, or a lot of creatures and alien races that do the same thing. You can't mistake them from being human from a distance, or like, it's a fish person.
Yeah.
That one's I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's got 3 legs. I hope that's a leg. But the reason why is because it's sci-fi. Yeah, it's a root. Sci-fi is a genre of movies that's beloved, but also hated.
It doesn't appeal to the general public.
The masses. The masses.
Yeah. Which is what else is always my fear of The Expanse.
Yep.
Like that, I absolutely love that show. I think it's well written. It is an absolutely well acted and fantastic, and it is very much so on the level of like Game of Thrones and something that, The Walking Dead, that people should actually be talking about, but because it's sci-fi,
they don't,
and it's on the Sci-Fi Channel, they don't.
Yep.
Right.
It's like Battlestar Galactica.
Right.
Battlestar Galactica was a huge show.
Yeah.
If you're into that community.
Yes.
But Battlestar Galactica did not have a Game of Thrones, Walking Dead following outside of the genre lovers.
Exactly.
Game of Thrones, I would have never
not enough sex.
You didn't watch Battlestar Galactica.
Plus, you haven't watched The Expanse.
But how much like literally actual nudity though? Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
What?
Obviously, you're not seeing
you're not seeing dicks
or
full on vaginas
tits or vaginas or anything, but like The Expanse, like first or second episode, you're literally having space sex. They're like floating there. You can see they're both naked. Yep. They're just silhouettes. Positioned in such a way that you can't see.
They're detailed silhouettes.
They're junks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Junks.
But very
junks in space.
Space junk. Yeah. Woo. Joe made a project in school to catch space junk. Yeah. So the reason they're saying this is because they think this could be. I mean, it's hard to say a new Star Wars, but it could be up there with the fame and the love of Star Wars. Like Star Wars is a thing that people like fucking love.
Yeah,
I don't know who those people are, but
that's going to be very difficult to try and live up to that.
And it's because the source material is so beloved by science fiction fans.
Again, though, that's
older science fiction fans. That this has potential. The problem with it is there's a lot that went into those. I mean, you're talking a graphic novel size books that were released as graphic novels, not individual issues. They're full on stories because they didn't break those up. They were literally the way novels are. It's a big story in one big chunk with chapters. That's how these graphic novels were made. They were made to be very dense and very long lasting. But yeah, I think it looks gorgeous, but I'm a big science fiction fan.
Did you read any of the graphic novels?
I've read the originals.
So there's English translations?
Oh yeah, you can buy English translations. Yeah.
Okay.
So the big thing about it is it's very. There's a like a noir type feeling to some of it, and you don't get this so much in this, and it's not all the way through all the books, but there's a very noirish type mystery thing to it where like the odds are against your hero,
okay,
in a way, and he has to figure things out and stuff like that. It's gonna be pretty interesting.
Okay,
The movie's gonna have to be pretty long, I think, though, because there's a lot of shit. You don't have to explain a bunch of stuff. Like in Star Wars, you don't have to explain a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, how does an X-Wing work? Well, we're not talking about that. It's just a ship that flies in space and it has wings that look like an X.
Done.
You know? You have a TIE fighter, and you didn't find out why it was called a TIE fighter in the movies.
Because it was very formal.
Yeah. You know? Exactly. You can
We got a black TIE fighter?
Yep. Whoa. That's something different.
Because it's a black TIE fighter event.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping they go that way with it, where they don't try to explain. Like, for those who saw John Carter, which again stole from Valerian quite a bit, and it's not the books. The books are super old. The visuals of of everything when they made it go over. Actually, I think Valerian's older than John Carter. I could be wrong. Anyways, John Carter to me was dope. The problem was very sci-fi.
Yes, it was very sci-fi.
Very sci-fi. They talked about a lot of shit and it was very heavy.
But was it very sci-fi or just like what's the distinction between being very sci-fi and just convoluted? You know, like
yes, when there's an idea they're trying to push on you through John Carter, which is if you're not susceptible to it, you're not going to enjoy it in a way.
Yeah.
But with John Carter, the reason I say it's so sci-fi is because it's so out there and they try to explain a lot of shit.
Volume 1 of it is free on Amazon Kindle.
Oh wow!
With Prime, we have to mention that with Prime.
Is it with Prime?
Yeah,
I'm
always guessing it's Prime.
I'm always signed in,
yeah,
so I have
I'm guessing
no
it's Prime
clue.
because it's in red. But I'm thinking that's probably because they're getting ready because
they're probably they want to.
They're ramping up the wanting people to see it. With John Carter, the problem with it being so, when I say sci-fi, it's not the visuals and things like that. It's the theme of it. So they're trying to sell you on the sci-fi by pounding it into your face about what this world is about versus Star Wars, where like it's just a dude trying to save a girl that's being captured by somebody.
But on top of that, you like you said earlier, you have the huge difference in, you know, a series of movies that was more based off of humans.
Yep.
And humanoids, so people can relate to them. Whereas you have now a series that's going to be based mostly off of non-humanoids, so it's going to be more difficult for the general public to relate to these characters because they're nothing like these characters at all. So
yeah, so there's it's not a ragtag group of human-like people going against a big corporation of human-like people.
Yeah,
it's these two humans going against all sorts of crazy aliens and all sorts of shit. I don't even know, to tell you the truth, who the main bad guy people are in it. I just know it's a very evil force trying to do bad things. So yeah, it's Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets. Then I put these two through the terrible plight of watching the new It teaser trailer.
I think it looks terrifying.
It looks fucking pretty awful.
I can't
wait.
See it. So this is being touted as the official first teaser trailer, because you don't get a lot of story in it.
Mm-hmm.
Read a fucking book, will you?
I will not, sir.
It's
Never. You can't make me.
Pretty sure I could probably convince you.
Actually, I've read plenty of books. Did you know that the new Kindle app supports the focus in comics now?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
I say that because this apparently isn't Comicology.
Oh, really?
Amazon Comicology. This is just Amazon Comics, so it doesn't appear in my Comicology app.
But it
It shows up in my Amazon Kindle app.
Of course it does.
But it looks pretty interesting. It's definitely a very old art style.
Yeah.
Of comic. But it is fucking wordy. So I'm not going to read that right now.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of
words.
Yeah. And I do believe, I think the first volume is not called The City of 1,000 Planets. Yeah, here he goes.
No, it's called the City of
the City of Shifting Waters.
Yeah, City of Shifting Waters. Well, yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's pretty fucking cool on that. So so I made him watch Stephen King's It, the teaser trailer for the I guess you remake or reimagining, however you want to call it.
It's gotta be a remake. Yeah.
It's planned for, if I'm not mistaken, 2 movies.
Okay.
So this first one will be the first half of the book, which will mostly focus on the kids.
And that's what the
as
trailer
kids.
seems to focus on.
It will include the adult versions of them for the present day stuff, and then flash back to tell the story of them.
Because that's how the book is. I haven't read the book yet.
Yes,
and that's
so
how
the
the book
book
is presented. They get back together as a reunion, and they're remembering these.
Yeah,
things.
and then you find out why it's a reunion. But yes, yeah. So it starts mostly with the adults, it starts with the adults, and then shifts solely to the kids for that part of the story, and then the other half of the book shifts the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
They start remembering stuff that leads more into going away from the present or the past and into the present and staying in the present.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how it works. Visually, there's a lot of stuff. If you haven't read the book, it's not gonna help you any to see visuals, but there's a lot of stuff from reading it, watching that teaser, instantly saw, like, I was, oh shit, that's what that is, that's what this is, that's what that is.
Okay.
There's a couple tweaks they made to it. So if you watch the teaser trailer, it's on the Facebook page, on our Facebook page. I posted it on there, as well as you can search the internet for it. I'm just trying to people go to the Facebook page, but when you watch it, there's a scene where they're doing a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Out of context, you're like, well, why are they watching the slides? In the book, it's a photo album.
Okay.
And it's only 2 of them. It's not
Okay.
the whole Losers Club. It's just I want to say it's just Billy. Nope, can't remember who else is with him. Doesn't matter. It's just 2 of them in there, and they see a picture, and the picture, like, is moving, and
very much Sinister-like.
Jesus.
Every episode, we had to go almost 2 hours, but it's gonna happen no matter what.
Right?
That's what I was waiting for.
We're marathoning this bitch.
Yep. This won't be a 2-parter.
You can listen to it in 2 different parts.
Yeah, you can stop and come back whenever you want.
Exactly.
As long as you come back.
We'll always make you come back.
So I'm gonna say you're gonna separate that differently. On your
Torso.
Torso.
On the torso.
Jesus, you're terrible.
Cody.
We're not getting listened to in Ireland.
Especially with
Literally,
our
we're
bad,
not getting listened to.
bad Irish
Oh
accents.
yeah, no, they're gonna hate us.
Torso.
Terrible.
That's how they say it.
It's totally not.
And it's at one point one of them puts their finger into the picture like to test it, so and it actually goes in.
Oh, that's
and
terrifying.
It gets grabbed.
Nope.
So in this, it's a slideshow, and as it starts to take over and start to move on its own, as I say, it animates the picture in a way, and it focuses just the way the picture does in the photo album, but it makes it look like basic stop motion. You know what I mean? It moves fast enough where it looks like motion, looks like video,
not,
and then it focuses on the mom, and as it slowly gets closer, you realize it's not the mom's face; it's actually Pennywise.
Yeah.
Or what's his name? Robert Gray, I think is his real name. Because he's a real clown, by the way.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's in the story. So you see, like, as the wind blows, it's blowing her hair away from her face, and you can see the pale white with the red smile. And yeah. So, but there's like that scene that was a little different. The scene with there's a lot of weird, like, it's a good teaser trailer. It shows a lot of stuff, because there's the bully that they have to deal with. He's a fucking horrible fucking human being.
Was that the kid in the school with the balloon that was floating?
No, so the fat kid.
Yeah,
that's one of the Losers Club guys.
Okay.
So the one you see, it's like a dirt road. There's a field, and you see the balloon up, and then you see a kid with red hair and like almost like a mullet with the sleeveless shirt. That's the like bully. That's the one that bullies them all the time.
Okay.
He was a fucking terrible person. Terrible person.
Bullies tend to be.
No, like, terrible. I don't know what happened to Stephen King when he was little, but if this is based on someone he really knew, he needs therapy in the worst way.
Well, just his stories in general.
Yes.
He needs therapy in the worst way.
But this kid was terrible, both as a kid and as an adult, because he's in both parts.
Okay.
I guess you could call him a protagonist in a way, or antagonist.
Antagonist. I was like, wow, he's
in an antagonist way. But so you see him, you see all of the kids, all the Losers Club. You see kind of the beginning. The one thing though, I don't wonder what the rating's gonna be, because I don't think this said.
No, this didn't say no.
Spoiler alert: when Georgie, again, if you see this trailer, SS Georgie is the boat that little kid puts in the water during the rain.
Right.
That's Billy's younger brother who goes missing, because at the storm drain you'll see Pennywise's face pop up. He rips Georgie's arm off.
Right.
In
at
the
that
middle of the street.
scene.
Yes. So it doesn't have to be gory.
But you're wondering how far they'll go.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's gonna pull his arm off. Because even in the book, it wasn't terrible. It was just like a lot of blood.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see like a fucking like ragged arm. It was just he rips it out from the raincoat, so the raincoat stays attached. It's just a floppy raincoat arm with blood running out of it.
Gotcha.
So I'm wondering how far they go with it. Really,
we'll have to see.
I'm hoping it's R. It's not for kids, no matter what. Like,
no, this is not definitely something that you aim for. Oh, let's do PG-13.
Yeah, let's aim for PG. Let
PG
everybody
would be
see
even
it.
Worse.
Rated
G.
Oh, they're singing and dancing, which there is.
Yeah,
so
but there's like Disney level singing and dancing.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do. I really hope it does well, so they do make the second one. I know they're planning. I think they're getting ready to just go right into it. So we'll hopefully it goes that way. And the last thing we will talk about will be Justice League, the first official trailer for Justice League. Now, if you're a fan of this show, you know this is not the first footage we've seen.
No.
It's not the first footage we talked about.
No.
There was a sizzle reel early. Even the one we got was from New York Comic Con. And it was put out quickly, and it was during production. Like, they were still hot and heavy into it, and you could, if you watch that and this new one, you can tell.
Oh yeah,
because Cyborg looks drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
Batsuit looks
way different. Wonder Woman looks just like she has. She hasn't changed any. But there's so much more in this that shows you the spectacle that this movie is gonna be and how big it actually is. Because if you watch the other one, you're like, oh, this looks like a pretty low key human type movie.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, motherfuckers, because there's a Bat mech
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spoiling anything for you because if you watch this trailer, I mean, according to YouTube, over 19 million views so far, and half of them are Mike and myself. You see it
everywhere.
pretty prominently twice in this trailer.
Explain to our fans that may not know what that is.
A bat boner? It's when Mike
No.
The bat mech. So mechanized vehicle is what it refers to. In this trailer, you see what looks to be a very broad Batmobile. I don't mean that as in like a feminine Batmobile, like a very big, wide Batmobile. And you see Batman swinging towards it, like down in this like cavernous sewerish thing. And he says, "Now it's my turn," as he climbs inside this thing. And then it's an exterior shot of like the legs pop up open and like walks around. You're like, oh shit. That thing's walking on its own.
Yeah, man.
And then you see it start to shoot at stuff, and then the scene cuts to Wonder Woman being overwhelmed by a bunch of the dark side minions, which I can't think of their names right now.
Parademons?
What?
Parademons?
Parademons is I can't remember. They have a name.
Do they?
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. And then this thing, you see shots fired from off camera, and they basically explode into chunks. And this thing's legs just pop onto the bridge, and just you literally just see it crawling up the side. And I was like, "Fuck yes!"
It very much so reminds me of in the Lego Batman.
Yeah.
That I forgot what he called it, but yeah, that machine that he was running for most of the movie.
Yeah,
which was pretty awesome. I'd love to see that in this film form.
Yeah, it's a Batmech for sure. What pick 2 things you love most out of the trailer, Mike?
Oh my god. All of it.
That's not 2 things. That's one thing.
That's one big all of it.
You can't. 2 things.
Oh, okay. 2 things. One, to why I like this is everyone complained about the tone of Batman v Superman.
Yes.
All right. We've talked about this at great lengths in the past. Batman v Superman definitely was convoluted. It has its problems. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I saw, instead of choosing to focus on the confusing aspects of it, the convolutedness, which I think as time goes on, that movie will make more and more sense with the other movies, because of the flashbacks and the dream sequences and stuff confuses people. But it felt more like a comic book to me than people like to see on a movie. But the biggest complaint was the tone. I dig the darker tone. I don't want it to turn into a lighthearted Marvel movie with some sadness here and but I like that grittiness to it. But if it'll get more people on board, I like the fact that they lightened up the tone a little bit, and they're definitely trying to show you in the trailers, like, we're doing that. The sizzle reel had the Flash making some jokes. This one of my favorite lines is when Aquaman comes up and he sees Batman, which I'm assuming the first time in the bat suit. Yeah. And he's like, dressed up like a bat, huh? I dig it. And he walks off. That shit made me laugh a lot. And even to kind of go inside, this is kind of like 1 and 1A. Just what I'm hoping is the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Aquaman looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And Aquaman, I'm more so than, like, I love Batman stuff, like, always have, but I am so goddamn excited to see what Jason Momoa does with Aquaman. Mm-hmm. That, like, that's what's really wanting me to get this movie to come out as quick as it can, so I could see what his dynamic is like and how he interacts with Bruce Wayne. I think is gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yep.
Joseph, your 2 things you liked about the trailer.
Ben Affleck, because the more and more I see him as Batman, the more and more he's becoming my favorite Batman. He just has this that he has that look that when he's Bruce Wayne, he looks like a rich guy, but you can tell he's like fucking huge, like you see in like the animated Batman series, and when you even getting into the Dark Knight comic books,
Big barrel-chested dude.
Big barrel-chested dude. And then when he is Batman, he's just a force to be reckoned with. And the way that Ben Affleck plays him is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, he's becoming my favorite Batman actor, above Christian Bale and Michael Keaton. The other one is that the stories.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure you didn't say it.
I'm pretty sure he didn't forget.
Pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty
my
sure,
bad. Sorry, I'm
Pretty
assuming
sure I
stuff.
named all the Batmans. I'll think about it later.
We'll edit it in post.
We'll edit it in post. And this one seems like more of a it's coming together of the story. Obviously, we haven't seen Darkseid yet, so we don't know how much he plays into
not
it.
Gonna be in this movie.
But these are definitely his minions. This is definitely an explanation of the nightmares that Bruce was having. So that I really am interested in that.
No
story.
Superman still.
And no Superman still, which is, is he coming back in this one? Is it going to be skipped over in this one?
Well, it's already spoiled. He's already been seen doing
But
scenes
but
with
how
them,
much
yeah.
is he going to be in it?
Very little.
But he wears a fucking black suit and he has long hair. That's all I know.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't know what his role in this is going to be.
Deathbringer?
Yeah, because like I said, this is going to be his. This is going to be right where Batman's having, Bruce Wayne was having those nightmares about this post-apocalyptic future where he was waging a war against Superman and Superman's minions, the red capes.
Red capes, yeah.
Yeah. So we have that like little bits and tips. Like I've said before, why I feel that the DC has been building a much better universe in general than Marvel has going through their universe is that Marvel or DC has integrated it into their storylines where Marvel has just been after credit scenes and stuff like that. So this is going to be a culmination of, what the fuck was that nightmare? Oh, well, I have this movie that's coming out that's going to hopefully explain it. Probably not.
Or even the Flash
but
going
Flash
back
coming
and telling them like you were right. You're like, that's going to, like I said, I think as history will look back much more fondly on Batman v Superman than it does currently, because they shouldn't have made the movie how they did it. Right?
They put the cart before the horse.
Yeah. And I kind of dig it because I dig the trying of doing that, but like movie fans are not comic book fans.
That's
two
very
different
true.
worlds. You know what I mean?
I think the way they did it was absolutely fine. I think that, the Batman versus Superman was literally just Batman versus Superman. This wasn't supposed to be the Justice League movie where you start bringing other characters into it. Yes, they brought in Wonder Woman, but, they didn't need to introduce Wonder Woman
I felt
into
everything
it from
fit.
a different, movie. She's getting her own movie now, but we didn't need to see that
looks
before.
fucking good too, by the
We
way.
didn't need to see that before Batman versus Superman. My only problem with Batman versus Superman is that what I think they were going for and what ended up being most likely due to time-wise was two different things.
Yeah.
Where because I read a
Can't make
whole
3.5 hour comic book movies.
well, I read a whole article stating, reason like it was like 5 reasons why Batman people hate Batman versus Superman, the movie, and one was saying that it doesn't have very many laughs and stuff in it. It's not very jokey, which is really stupid to say. If you want that stuff, go to Marvel. This is supposed to be darker in general, and another one was saying that they didn't like the way Superman was portrayed. I'm gonna go out right now and say I don't like classic Superman. I hate it. I hate classic Superman because he's so overpowered that literally everything that he does can be solved with some sort of MacGuffin power that he suddenly comes up with. He's super strong, but a lot of times in comic books we see that he's basically Super Saiyan. We've never seen his full power because he always holds back, and then he suddenly has heat vision and X-ray vision, and his breath can freeze things or whatnot. He's too overpowered. So Man of Steel, I thoroughly enjoyed that Superman. It was based more off of the Superman Earth 1, where it's humanizing him. He doesn't know that he can be a superhero, and he's trying to find his place in the world. And in that movie, it shows that all of the moral strife that he goes through trying to protect people, but every time he tries to protect somebody, some bigger, badder shit comes out and happens. And that's the culmination at the very end there with that, the battle of him versus Zod. Yes, he saved the world, but at what cost did he save the world? He caused billions of dollars in damage to buildings, killed probably thousands of people that were in those buildings. Yes, they would have died anyway, but that's not how these people see it. And that's where we lead into Batman versus Superman, where you have that division of people saying, he is a god, he is our savior, and those people, and then the other people saying, well, what if he suddenly decides to turn on us? And to me, the movie was supposed to be that and Superman's moral strife with how he envisions himself within this world. But that didn't quite happen.
Right.
And it felt like that was starting to happen in certain scenes. But it just, you could tell that there were certain things that they just, we can't fit this into a 2.5 hour movie. So we need to cut this out and we need to cut that out. And we need to explain this a little bit faster. This is important, but again, it doesn't work, so we have to cut it down type of thing. And what you get in the end is something like what we got, which has a lot of fantastic stuff to it, but a lot of like, well, why? Exactly. Yeah.
And your number 2 thing you liked?
No, it was the story.
Okay.
It's what looks like a more of an explanation of what happened in Batman versus Superman.
Cohesive story.
Yeah, like I said, going forward, you're starting to explain what you already set up in the past.
Yours?
I would like to talk so much more about Batman v Superman, but I'm not going to. But my 2 things I liked about this was 2 scenes that I liked was Flash and the way they showed him use his abilities.
Yes.
I, for one, dig the Flash armor. I think it looks dope.
Yeah.
I think on the big screen, just like anybody else we've seen in any comic book movie, except for Watchmen, but that's because of what it was. If you put them in spandex on a big screen, it looks goofy.
Mm-hmm.
So putting him in spandex would look goofy. You put him in armor, but there looks to be a reason why he's in armor, because they're going into fucking war.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the way it looks because it looks functional in a way. But when he's running, you can actually see the lightning rippling off of it, which is super dope. And when he fucking charges up and throws that bolt, and it looks in the way the trailer is cut, is the bolt actually changes direction, like he controls it in a way. And it could just be him running, who knows? But so far we haven't seen that animation where he's running. I like the fact that it make him look like he jumps from space to space, like Nightcrawler does, like this, because he moves so fast that we literally cannot see him. He breaks into the Speed Force so quickly, all we see is a little bit of lightning, and all of a sudden that dude's way over there. Yeah. And it's like split second, like I blinked and that dude's gone and back somewhere else that he shouldn't be able to get to that quickly in that space. I like that look and feel to it. The other one is when Aquaman jumps on the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, like all fucking yoked to the fucking be in it. And then he just jumps off and just grabs a hold of like the parademons and just takes off around the corner. And Batman is like, when he jumps on, he goes, yeah. Batman gives him this like sly like smile
He's
look.
like, yeah, dope,
he's like,
right?
He's like, yo, this is dope, right? Like buddy moment, like bros. He jumps off and Batman just like looks and just watches him fly by. He's like, or whatever, and just keeps going like into the fray, like just fuck it, right? It looks so dope. And the fact that
it's gonna be so good.
I think they're taking Aquaman in a superhuman way, because people are like, oh, Aquaman, he's just water.
Call a shark.
But like, he's super strong. That's what people don't understand, because they don't understand Aquaman, because they're not going to read a comic book. He is a superhuman, even though he's not technically human. But he has superpowers. He's super fast. He's super strong. He does those things. He doesn't shoot laser beams out of his eyes or free stuff with his breath, because that's Superman's thing, and that's, his thing. But like you look at him and go, oh, he's just this fucking dude. And then like he literally jumps in the air, and in the air contorts his body with all of his strength to throw a fucking trident, and then land in this jump. He does all this and lands just like, dude, this dude is beastly. And you see him land on the Batmobile, and you're like, oh, he's riding on the outside of the Batman. And then he jumps not just up, but forward. He propels himself faster than a speeding Batmobile into these creatures and takes off with them. You're like, dude, this dude is nuts.
More Aquaman.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's Aquaman this up.
Yeah.
And to throw a third one in there, I really like too. Think about it. I love the look of Wonder Woman in one scene in this. When she's in, it looks in a lobby-ish of a building.
Yeah,
and she's
kicking ass.
And she takes this dude down, and she's in this, like, sliding sweep of a kick, and then stands up and flings her hair back like a fucking lady. And I was like, nailed it. That is fucking Wonder Woman, dude. Like, she's so well aware of, like, everything. Like, Jason Momoa's Aquaman has the long hair, and he's just fucking everywhere. And he's just like, I don't care, I'm gonna murder everybody. She's so into it. Like, she knows.
Controlled chaos.
She just, like, flicks her hair back and stands there. I was like, that bitch is a fucking master. Like, she is fucking people up. It's so dope. And that fact when she hits her fucking gauntlet on the shield and everything just goes fucking silent, I was like, oh, right. She is commanding this room like a motherfucker.
Well, one of my favorite scenes too is when there's the three of them. It's Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Aquaman jumps down, and she says like, let's go or something like that.
She grips the sword and shield.
She's ready. Cyborg is like gearing in, and fucking Aquaman's over there just like pumping his trident, ready to fucking
he spins
go.
in his hand. He grabs it like this. I'm like, he's gonna fuck so many things up right now. Like, he's gonna give the business to people in a 5-point spear. Like, that's what that was. Like, he's like, yo, see this? It looks golden. Guess what? I'm gonna fuck your face with it. I'm gonna destroy so much stuff that you don't even understand. Like, it's not quantumly able to magnify the amount of damage I'm gonna do.
Gonna be so much better than the main event at WrestleMania.
Bring it around to wrap it up, Michael Owen. All right, kids, we've wasted 2 hours and 7 minutes of your life.
It's going to be a long weekend. Take Friday off. Listen to it.
I'm proud of Mike,
right?
Being part of our, being the first time being part of one of our many
episode ever.
2.5 hours. It was a Star Wars one that Clint and I did.
Yeah.
Well, us. I mean.
Yeah. We've gone a long time, but this though, Mike joined us in.
Slowly working our way to Joe Rogan experience numbers, baby.
I'll give you a 4-hour podcast.
Oh, we got a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 200. Get ready for that motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure
Breaking
up for it now.
I need to take a nap halfway through that.
We're taking the weekend off to record that.
So we
shit.
just like do turns. Like, you can take a nap for a little while, and then we'll talk. And
all right, so come back next week, kids. I'm gonna tell you how much that main event of WrestleMania sucked, how good Kevin Owens is, and any surprises.
We will talk about Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah, we will talk about Ghost in the Shell.
Because that is this weekend. We'll also talk about Life, because Joe and I are going to see that tonight.
Yeah.
We will talk about Ghost in the Shell. I'm super excited about.
I'm gonna talk about Beauty and the Beast because I'm gonna go watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I was waiting.
You
I was
haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, no, because every time we went to go, they were sick and they didn't go.
Yeah, so disappointed in you. I saw it.
Good.
It's amazing.
Bring tissues, not napkins. You will need legit tissues.
I have a tear bucket that I just take with me now because I'm such a pussy bitch.
No, they won't even work, dude. Not tear. Bring 3. They're not even like always sad tears. They're like, oh god, I know what's happening. Like, you know what's happening in it. Like, you don't know if you're going into this movie not knowing anything about it.
Did they not do shot for shot?
Literally shot for shot. There's a little bit difference in it because it's like,
but there's literally like, oh, I know what's happening here.
It's like, oh no, y'all motherfuckers just watch this and act it out. Like, so this is the scene we're doing.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Memorize it.
Yeah.
We got these storyboards. It's called a Blu-ray. We're gonna do
what we did here is you're gonna watch this a bunch. This is how you're gonna learn your lines.
Exactly the same.
And you have to do this exactly multiple times from different angles.
And I heard they nailed it.
Oh god, dude, it's so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I will I will say this, and this will end it. I liked it more than Jungle Book.
That's very easy. Yeah.
Oh,
easy
really? That easily?
Jungle Book was phenomenal, Beauty and the Beast makes that look like a fucking shoehorn.
The way they integrated like the
That's a saying.
the music.
Oh my
and
god,
the
it's so
singing
genius. Because it's just
fantastic.
like the fucking movie.
It is.
Where like the song isn't just the song; it's expression and actual like talk. Like it's speaking the movie like it's real. They're going through the town and they're singing, and you're like, oh, that's just them conversing.
Yep.
And then like they do a little bit of dance, and it's like that scene from like they're all like culminate and boom, here's the end of it, and it ends, and everyone just walks back like that's the regular life.
And I'm hoping that everybody that did the singing actually, did the acting, actually did the singing. I'm not sure if Emma Watson
All of the
can
main
actually
cast
sing.
did.
She did?
Yes.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's his name who played Gaston? Fantastic.
Luke Evans.
The guy who played LeFou. Fantastic. Like it's
Josh Gad. Well, Josh Gad was
Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon, but he also was the snowman from Frozen.
Oh, okay. He played Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf.
Okay.
He did his own songs.
He was
too.
fantastic.
He was amazing.
They were all fantastic, and the singing was spot on.
Next week when we talk more about
awesome.
it, we'll
Yes.
talk about the big controversy with that
Yep.
too, and how it's fucking bullshit. But we'll
Yep.
end right now.
All right.
Yep.
Comes naturally. We are
Joe.
Mike.
I am Cody. Welcome to this week's episode. I don't know. It's been way too long.
We're starting again. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Another 2.
Yep. We're doing that Joe Rogan one today. Just kidding.
No.
Thanks for being
We have
here.
another movie to
Thanks
get
for
to.
making it to the end. And as usual, you fuckers just came naturally for 2 hours in. 10 minutes, 11 minutes, basically. We go.
Ooh wee.
Keep it dry.
That's a long sesh.